beating Optic in my eyes. It's more just about just like being hungry to win again and just having fun when you're winning. You know, I think that's the most important part of competing.
We've been waiting what feels like forever for this one, Joe. After the roster change went down and we saw them into Division B, I was like, we gotta wait. We gotta wait an extra couple weeks for this matchup, but now we're finally here, buddy.
No, we definitely are. Obviously, those two guys, you see a formal scump. It's what a lot of the talk is around. I mean, yes, this is just another league match, but these guys want to beat the hell out of each other.
Absolutely. There is no one that can tell me otherwise. Here we go. Let's kick it off. Game 1, Luminosity versus Optic Gaming. Kicking it off with Optic. Let's get right to an Astro Gaming listening.
Top left. Left, dead. Nice.
Top right.
Pull up. Catch me weak. I got tail. Slow left.
White steps.
Left. Nice. I can't back. He'll one shot. One shot, Matt. I got him. Push him.
I have time. I'm watching rails.
I got it. I got one. We're mid lane. Dirt. Jerry going white. I'm watching your left. Back.
It could be rails.
I have rails.
Under me. I need help.
I have one left. Watch your high. I need rails.
Start rotating. Two high white. Two up white.
Go on low left. I went through low left.
I got right rails.
I went behind him. Nice three. I got the back. Give me this time.
Go through gold.
They stun me.
Ladder, gold.
Watch an Optic.
Nothing barrel.
Weak.
Yes, Optic vs LG. Watch it right now.
Wait, stone step sets.
Alright, there's two of them in the back.
Gold got me.
Yo, did you need help, man?
That's on cave.
Top rails. Still two on me in the back. I got John low left.
Good shit.
There's one more in the back. Jake
I'm
back.
named hill.
We can help.
Jake back. Green, I spawn located.
I need a hill.
Hold on. I'm going ladder.
Go rock on me. I got killed. On hill.
Oh, hill got me. He's sort of weak. He's on the barrel.
Spawn cave. I spawn cave.
I want the back.
I got to run right.
Keep slaying.
Front hill and dirt last two.
We playing it. We spawn
They spawn rocks. I'm gonna hold.
I'm watching ghost.
No,
Rails
we didn't.
one shot. Rails dead.
We played Epsilon and Tainted Minds. Or no,
They're
we
up
played
26
Mind
right
Freak and
now,
Tainted Minds.
and yeah, Joe, you could hear the energy and the
Oh yeah,
passion from the first
Uniland.
second.
No, definitely still a great start, and you have to point it out. Number 1 right now, Formal 0-6. Not the best start, but they've recovered, right? What seemed to be a very scary Optic Gaming off that
They're
break.
both in it.
Yeah, I mean, they have 45 points off the opening, but LG have recovered a little bit. But now you have to
they
talk
still
about
have to
Optic
play
Gaming. Look at that mini-map. They have completely out-rotated Luminosity over towards that Castle Road hill. We always talk about it, Castle Road. The number 1 money hill for this game. You can earn so much time, and when you have Crim 6 in this position, it makes it so difficult to get across. The guy in the hill right now, Octane, he's just going to be hanging out. You have Crim 6 starting off 8-3. The sling is there for Optic. Are they able to hold him?
So far, so good. Formal's going to find his first kill there as he pushes up. I think you feel fortunate. You're in the game right now.
Yeah.
Considering the slow start from Formal, and well, no one's really going off on LG right now, but still very much in the game. Slacked and Cubby
we gotta go back to
trying to maybe find the opening. That's 3 kills coming in. 3 spawning in the back now. This is a chance for Luminosity to get into key positions and at least try and maybe contest a little bit up this hard point.
Yeah, just stay alive. Once again, right? Just keep Optic Gaming from winning, but you have to point it out once again. LG laid on rotations. They hit this last 20 seconds. You can see you have Octane, you have Scump already towards that low turret. And then Slack, though, he's working for Streaks. He hit staying down by Methods. Big kill from him. And we'll see how can Optic hold this turret hill. This has been a very good hill for a lot of teams. But Formal, he hits shots into Scump, but back and forth as you have a big pinch coming in here from John. He's able to find one on the Scump. Methods knows the pressure's there. John, he may have caused enough ruckus for this Luminosity team to break on in.
I think he got him weak enough to hold. Slacked the kill and then slacked with a nice 2-piece there inside of the hard point. Trailing by 45 right now and trying to fight back through turret. It's Slack that's going to be dealing with the pressure coming in from Cave. Methods able to pick him, but J-Cap still separate on the hard point. Nice shots from Cap there to secure some more time. Re-peaks though, and Trim gonna get the better of him.
Yeah, he knew the pressure was coming from the middle. That was Scump, who was able to work middle with, I believe that's Octane. So they did a good job. They found John top mid. That allows him to break them to get these final 15 seconds or so. Crim 6 might get picked off here by Formal. Formal is going up, but he's just going to leave it. So you're going to have about a 60-point lead here for Optic Gaming. We're going to go back to Pit Center, and remember, when we were here at the Pit Center at the beginning of the game, they dominated.
And it's getting worse and worse when you think about it statistically. Yeah, Formal's put up 5 kills. When you take a look at someone like John, too, who needs to go off 6 and 13. The opposite production from Prim6, who was just 13 and 6 before that death. You're getting advantage at the AR position, the sub position, everywhere across the board right now for Optic Gaming, and starting to show in the lead. The only real positive thing you have for LG is I guess you haven't given up any streaks yet to this Optic team.
Just one glide bomb.
Up, and it gets ugly. Yeah, one glide bomb, but it could be worse. It certainly could be worse when you take a look at the overall KDs of everybody involved.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting worse, though. It's getting out of hand. Once again, you have 30 seconds left. Optic have a perfect hold at pit center. Methods, he's holding this spiral area. You have Octane on the hill, and that's, I think, what's so good for Optic is Octane is a guy who likes to sit on the hill, just eat up time, go double positive, make it so difficult, and what that allows Scump and Crim6 to do is roam, play your game, go out and slay. That's what we didn't have in the old Optic Gaming roster. It just felt like the objective were in the slaying work. It just wasn't there. There was always confusion of who was supposed to be doing what, but with this roster, you can just tell everything's going well.
Well, we heard the comms earlier from Optic Gaming. They were fired up. They were dominated. But it's LG now. They're trying to bring it back down 100. Let's go to an Astro Gaming listen in with Luminosity.
It should be spawning out. I'm gonna cut him off.
He's spawning.
Did you get them? I need your front. I need your front. I need your front.
Also.
Here.
Did you get time?
Come in.
Yeah, go.
Someone have lights.
I'm in. Absolutely.
Not like you're going. I'm pushing right.
Top spiral.
They give me my cave. They give me my cave.
I'm right.
Yeah, they needed me. They give me my head.
Let's come out. Let's come out. Method. One shot. Nice. Good job.
Right. Let's go. He's gold. I'm pretty sure.
This 30.
He's inside gold. I'm coming top. I'm coming over you.
I'm gonna go cave.
It could be.
Time.
It could be gold also. They're gonna be on new. So I get up top.
I'm
He's top red cap outside. Top out. I'm dead.
Okay,
Top out. Top out. Get top left. I stay up mid. So you're trying. I'm a guy. We can still get a killer and spawn him out. John, go.
On one. I'm in cave.
Take your time.
He's gonna spawn out. He's gonna spawn out. He's going to.
No, he's not
I'm
red. He's
gonna
not
be
red.
pimping on everyone.
One shot the old. Absolute the old. He's gonna go gold.
Yeah, watch it go.
Top red. Top red. Absolute guys. On rock. Top red and all.
Yeah, Sam's on the hill. Watch out.
I spawn a rocks. I'm soaking hill.
We're set.
Crim's watching cave.
We can hill. We can hill the nade.
We can rails quick.
That's what's been map. Hill.
I know where Seth went.
Go on the hill. Go close. White. Bottom white.
He's one shot. He got in my way.
Got him. Nice.
Alright, come on, let's push up.
Okay, one's gonna be red.
Yeah, low cam, I'm flank cave. I'm on flank cave, alright? Take your time. Go middle, go middle. I'm flanking cave, I'm flanking cave.
I'm red. Crim's counter hit him with a bullet.
I'm holding red. John, I'm waiting.
How many you
red dead. I'm absolutely John. We can hill the nade.
Oh, he was watching cave. He came out. He's red.
Pop out. Weak. One in hill weak. Two in hill. Close the Just show hill really weak. We got it right there.
Yeah, just go now.
The lead continues to grow for Optic Gaming. Joe, for you, anything that stood out in that listening with
They
Luminosity?
seem frantic, right? Like, I think we need to listen to Optic, just cool, calm, collected, sort of what we expect with a green wall roster,
Could
right?
be nerves a little bit?
I think it definitely could be. You saw some, John was taking some shots going left to right. Then once again, they just seem uncomfortable right now. I don't know if it's the map pick, if it's Gibraltar, whatever it is. You can definitely tell that something with LG's up, and you can tell on the scoreboard, right? Slack the only one positive. I think that's huge for them because he's a guy who has to play well in this series. You heard them talking on the desk. Slack and John have owned Optic Gaming all along, but right now, Optic just 29 points away from winning this map number 1.
And Octane close to tacking some streaks on. What a performance from him. 20 and 9 on a 6 streak. 2.5 minutes in the hard point. Look at that compared to everybody else in the lobby. Octane showing why he is one of the world's best.
And again, what that does for you as a submachine gun player, if you're Crim or Scump, you don't have to pick that up as Octane finds 3, finds another one with a grenade, everything going well for him. He has a 2.4 KD. If you are a Green Wall fan, you are happy he is on this roster. Just 8 more seconds in. But again, look, Scump can just roam freely. He can pick up cuts. Him and Crim are going to be so tough to deal with on a Gibraltar map. And obviously, again, when you talk about Gibraltar, 2 AR setup, Octane and Methods, it has to favor those two.
Well, the streaks continue to come in, and there's the final second. Octane, he's hyped. Statistically, a phenom in that game 1, putting up LeBron-like numbers. Unreal performance, man.
Yeah, I would let him know what he just said. But yeah, he was just dominating. What, 26 and 10?
Can someone shoot back at me, please?
Yeah, like, yeah.
And, we talked about, Formal leaving, obviously Optic, and maybe some of the bad blood there, and that went down. But we had to highlight the fact, as much like Octane is going as his former teammates. He said kind of in that video feature before map 1 that he wished he could have handled a little bit better. So that makes me think maybe it wasn't the cleanest of breaks, so that probably felt very good for him.
Yeah,
he's on his feet.
I mean, definitely so. Obviously a great performance, but I just think it's a good feeling for him because he's going up against Optic's main AR.
Yeah.
And again, for a very long time, it was who's the better AR in the world.
All of last year. All of last year was Octane versus
Octane. Yeah, and Formal came out on top of a good amount.
Not in that map 1.
Definitely not, but I imagine that was probably Optic's map pick. If you look at Gibraltar, again, it's just a map that makes sense for them. When you have subs like Crim and Scump who can roam the map, and again, Octane, he's just hanging out, 2 minutes, 40 seconds in the hill, puts up that kitty. Method's also had a stellar game. All 4 players of this Octa roster played great in the hard point, but you have to keep that up in the, throughout the entire series.
We'll see if Crim6 and company can keep it going. Jess actually had a chance to speak with Crim before this match. Let's hear his thoughts.
Thanks, Clint. Yeah, and before this match, Crim6 seemed very, very confident. He said that they were feeling good. He kind of reiterated what we all know, which was, of course, that this is a big rivalry match. But despite that, he seemed very cool, calm, and collected. And he said, we should be able to take this as long as we play smart, play our game. And he said that the main thing is that they need to make sure to get their rotations down on hardpoint, which, as you can see, has been going very well for them so far. So let's see if they can keep it up for the rest of this match. Clint, back over to you.
Thanks, Jess. And yeah, I'm sure there was a lot to feel confident about with this team. Obviously, they've been performing well. They're excited for this new squad. But it just feels like when we watched them against, let's say, maybe Tainted Minds yesterday, and they're playing hardpoint, like I feel like I didn't see that as structured of a result as this against a better team in Luminosity, which just proves, I think, from the opening second of that listen, and how fired up they are.